Hi everybody, I'm Stephanie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for this week's energetic forecast. Welcome if this is your first visit. If you do like the content and you do tune in every week, please be sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. This again will be an energetic forecast for the week of March 28th through April 3rd. So into April 2021 already. I really feel like I just said, I can't believe it's March already. And now we are into the first week of April, which is just crazy. But the way things have been for a lot of people, maybe it's a good thing that time's going really quickly. So we do have a full moon today on Sunday, March 28th. So starting off the week with the full moon energy, which is generally an energy of release. What do we need to let go of? What do we need to surrender? And I felt like last week the energy was a little bit heavier than it had been in the weeks before. We had really been in an energy of kind of things speeding up and of creation, of unfolding. And then I feel like last week it was kind of like everybody in their head, in their mind, kind of thinking about things, what could go wrong, what are the pros and cons, instead of that movement energy. So I do feel like last week was a little heavier for some people. And this week we'll see, what do we need to let go of from that energy? How can we keep moving forward? So I've said it before a lot in private readings and maybe on here. We're in this energy of kind of a collective dump and purge, and part of it's pandemic related, but the pandemic is even part, I believe, of a larger energetic shift. So there is kind of a collective dump and purge, even when it's good, even when it's leading to movement forward, even when it's that collective exhale. It's still a lot of energy being put out there. So it is this kind of collective dump and purge that's been happening. And as sensitive people, which many of us are energetically sensitive, how do we deal with that? And how are we dealing with the maybe heavier energy if we felt that way last week? So this, I think last week it was the first of spring. We're in the first of spring. So this is quite literally a great time to do some energetic spring cleaning, but really also spring cleaning. Like if you have spaces in your home or office that need cleared out, this is a great week for it with that energy of the full moon. Saging your house, saging yourself, kind of getting rid of that energy. So this week what we will do, I'm going to draw a card from this Power of Surrender deck that I like to use during times of a full moon. Just kind of in a guiding energy for the week, but also maybe for April, since we are going into the first week of April. This could be an energy for the month of April. So what do we need to let go of to keep moving forward? And then for the weekly guidance, I'm going to use this Starseed Oracle. So let's go ahead and draw a card from the Power of Surrender deck. Just asking what as a collective we can let go of to keep that forward momentum going. Okay, well, 2 cards popped out, so let me grab those. Oh, nice. Okay, so the first one that I see when I pick it up, even though 2 came out kind of stuck together, surrender to inner peace. So this says cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet, meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. So surrendering to the energy of inner peace, just any extraneous stress that you are able to mitigate or eliminate. This is a reminder to do that, especially this week, especially during the time of the full moon. So surrendering to inner peace. And then the one that came out stuck to that also is, oh, I misread that actually. It's surrender to what is, but I have to tell you, I read it as surrender to what ifs, which I think is also really relevant right now. Not replaying what you might have done differently. There's been a lot of change in the past year, a lot of things we've had to do differently and unexpectedly, and maybe they weren't according to our plans for ourselves. So I misread this as surrender what ifs. So not replaying what you might have done differently or how things could have turned out differently, which just kind of leads to regret and bitterness. So what this actually said is surrender to what is, flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. So surrendering to inner peace and surrendering to what is, the actuality of what is, not the what ifs or what might have been. Okay, so then so that's just our guiding energy for the week, and I do feel kind of for the month of April as a whole. So then let's draw our weekly cards. I'm going to go ahead and draw all of them, and then we'll talk about them one by one. Again, this is for the week of March 28th through April 3rd, 2021. But if you do come across this video outside that time frame and the guidance feels relevant to you, then it absolutely is. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and draw all of the cards, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, so starting with Sunday, March 28th, and again, that is the day of the full moon, we have, we have the weight of the world. So still that kind of heavier energy, but also an energy I feel like connecting to this inner peace and what is. This card says boundaries. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. So this is about kind of that old adage of putting on your own oxygen mask before you help the passenger next to you put theirs on. You can't worry about others. And actually, what I have come to realize over many years of doing this work is we actually hinder others on a soul level when we try to assist too much. Everybody has their own lessons and experiences they have set up for themselves on a soul level, and it's great to want to help people. It really is. I'm not talking about not being of any assistance if someone asks for it and you are able to provide that assistance, that's fine. But to go out of our ways to really lift others and do for others and interject maybe what we think they need is not helpful to them on a soul level and can really hinder their progress and the lessons they've set up for themselves. So this says put down the burdens of others, but that's also the collective others. So put down the news, put down the social media, kind of step away from that a little bit. All of that is not yours to carry. So let go of the weight of the world. That's our message for the full moon. That's our message for Sunday the 28th, for the beginning of the week, is let go of the weight of the world. So that's your energy for starting the week. And then Monday, March 29th, we have all paths lead home. And this says inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. So this says that for sensitive people, which I've already mentioned is many people that tune in to these videos, the current challenge now and what has been, for more than a year now, is to feel connected without taking on the weight of the world. How do we do that? So this message urges you to increase and be more mindful and regimented about your spiritual practice, whatever that looks like for you. If it's just sitting quietly, if it's yoga, if it's meditation. We've gotten the message a couple times over the past couple months. You might say you do it, but are you really doing it? It's time to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. Really be mindful and regimented is the message I'm getting about this spiritual practice. So start your day from a place of connectedness and centeredness so that you're able to hear this intuitive guidance and your own inner guidance clearly throughout your day. That is how you are led in the best possible direction. So that's your Monday energy, as all paths lead home. And then your Tuesday, March 30th energy is baby steps. And this one says action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. So that's kind of like that going to the edge and taking the leap of faith before you can see the end result, the end of the line. So baby steps asks you to clarify what it is you want and take forward movement, no matter how small that forward movement appears to be or you think it is. It's saying don't jump to the end because you can't see it and it's just going to scare you. Focus on where you are today and what action steps you can take today. Is it making a list on a post-it note? Is it doing a vision board if you like to do vision boards? Is it just making a list to sort out your thoughts and ideas? Is it formulating a business plan? Is it applying for certain jobs that you would consider to be your dream jobs? Is it putting together an online dating profile if you're looking for a relationship? Is it researching classes or workshops for something you're interested in that would bring you joy and fulfillment? What is it? This card asks, what is one step you can take this week towards your goal or focus or mission? It doesn't matter how small it is. So baby steps, your Tuesday energy, movement forward. We're back in that movement forward again. And then Wednesday is, this is March 31st, it's the lifting the veil card. So lifting the veil says questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. So this goes back to the card right before about the baby steps asking you to clarify what it is you want and take forward movement on it. By clarifying, that's how we discover and uncover what is unaligned. So lifting the veil asks, what isn't working for me right now? And how can I bring more harmonious energy in to get things flowing and working? And it's perfect following the baby steps card because that asked us to get clear on what we want to focus on. And this card says, okay, what doesn't line up with what I want? What is maybe blocking me from taking those baby steps forward? By opening our eyes and lifting that veil from this card, and really being honest with ourselves, we're able to see clearly what might not be serving us and what might be hindering us from taking those baby steps. So really kind of pulling back the curtains, illuminating what might not be serving us anymore. So that's the Wednesday energy. And then Thursday, wow, this is, so this is good. I love the way this is unfolding. It's super interesting this week. Thursday is April 1st, the Great Severing. And it says Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So this, I love how these are building on each other. This is like the shadow energy, the shadow work, if you've heard that term, bringing things to the surface so that they can be recognized as contrary to what we do want. That's how we decide what we want, is through contrast and comparison. While it's not ever great to compare ourselves to others, we can't compare what we want. We can look at others and go, okay, that's what I don't want. Oh, that is what I do want. How could I make that my own? How could I do that so that it's in harmony with my soul's purpose? So the Great Severing says, bringing things to the surface so they can be recognized as contrary to what we do want. And this goes back to how I misread that first card as what ifs. This is the energy of letting go of what might have been, of conflict, so that it doesn't become bitterness and regret, because we're at a point energetically where we could go either way, and we don't want to go that way. We want to be in an alignment, in an uplifted, harmonious energy that's moving forward to our soul's purpose. We don't want to be in bitterness and regret. So softening into what is. So letting go of the what ifs, softening into what is, surrendering to what is, which is actually what the first card says, not what ifs. But that's kind of a fortuitous oops on my part that I misread that, because I feel like it's really relevant this week. So letting go of the what ifs and softening into the what is. And that's your Thursday energy. And then Friday, which is April 2nd, is the Seas of Mintaka card. So Mintaka, according to everything I've read about it, is a very watery planet. But very clear waters, so you can kind of see into the depths on Mintaka. It's about seeing potential and bringing unconsciousness to light. So this card is about bringing unconscious patterns or things that we might not see at first glance to light. So looking into those watery depths and very much seeing the potential of things. Again, not about the what ifs, but about the what is, really looking and seeing what the potential is based on the actuality of circumstances, not what should have been or could have been. So this is, again, about getting really clear on what you want, back to that baby steps energy, a nod to that baby steps energy. It's a card of a lot of positivity and much potential. So I love that it comes out on Friday, kind of toward the end of the week, as confirmation that we are taking baby steps in the right direction with whatever we're focusing on this week. So there is your Friday energy. And then back around to Saturday, back around to the end of the week. These weeks truly are flying by. So Saturday, April 3rd, we have the Breath of the Cosmos. This card always kind of makes me chuckle because it says, my will to thy will. But then it also says micromanaging the universe, and I am a known micromanager. So I always kind of get a chuckle when it comes out for me. I do love that this comes out as the last card for the week on Saturday. Breath of the Cosmos has that same energy we talked about last week, I think is when it came out, that let go and let God, or whoever or whatever your higher power is. It says, when you surrender your will to the will of the universe, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities, to infinite potential. And that's a perfect way to surrender into what is and let go of what ifs. So don't micromanage the universe. Let go, surrender to what is. And that's how we end our week on Saturday. So I hope you all find this helpful. I hope you enjoy this week's reading, and I hope I will see you next week.